evening, everyone. I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and safe. Every Sunday has been very special as we connect with each other through this forum, discussing about various topics from different fields. இன்னைக்கும் சந்தேகமே இல்லாம அதே மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் செஷனா தான் இருக்க போகுது. ஆனா இன்னைக்கு டபுள் ஸ்பெஷல். ஏன் இந்த டபுள் ஸ்பெஷல் எப்படி அப்படின்னு கேக்குறீங்களா? பல பேர் இந்த டைம் டிராவல் மிஷின் பத்தி கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. யாராச்சும் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா? நான் பண்ணதில்ல. ஸோ இந்த டைம் டிராவல் மெஷின் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கிறத ஒரு சின்ன ட்ரெய்லர் மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு காட்டலாம் அப்படிங்கறதான் இந்த ஈவெண்டோட ஐடியாவே. இந்த கொரோனா டைம்ல டிராவலிங் அப்படிங்கறதே வந்து ஒரு கனவு, நடக்காத ஒரு விஷயம் அந்த மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு. இந்தியால எப்படின்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. வெளியூர்ல இருக்க எங்களை மாதிரி பாவப்பட்ட ஜீவனுக்குலாம் வந்து எப்படா வருவோம், டிராவல் பண்ணுவோம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு. சோ இந்த மாதிரி விஷயத்துல ரொம்ப சேஃபா வீட்டுல இருந்தபடியே பாஸ்போர்ட் இல்லாம, டிக்கெட் இல்லாம, பைசா செலவு இல்லாம நம்ம எல்லாம் டிராவல் பண்ண போறோம். எப்படி, எங்க அப்படின்னு கேக்குறீங்களா? சுமார் ஒரு 60 வருஷம் ரீவைண்ட் பண்ணி நம்மளெல்லாம் கூட்டிட்டு போக போறாரு. பட் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த டைம் டிராவல் மெஷின்ல நீங்க ஏறணும்னா ரெயின் கோட் இல்ல ஏதாச்சும் மழையில நனையாதபடி இருக்கிற என்ன பொருள் உங்க வீட்டுல இருக்கோ எடுத்து ரெடியா வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஏன்னா சமீர் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு புயல் நம்ம கூட இருக்கார். அவர் வந்து பலமான ஒரு இசை மழைய நம்ம மேல பொழிய போறார். ஸோ 1960s அந்த பீரியட்ல வந்த பியூட்டிஃபுல்லான சாங்ஸை நமக்கு ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்றதுக்காக we have Samir with us. ஸோ சமீர், ஓவர் டு யூ. 1960s கூட்டிட்டு போயிடுவீங்கன்னு எனக்கு நம்பிக்கை இருக்கு. ஆனா தயவு செஞ்சு 2020க்கு திருப்பி கொண்டு வந்து விட்டுருங்க. ஏன்னா நம்ம நந்தகுமார் சார் இஸ் வெயிட்டிங் ஃபார் அஸ். அவரோட இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான டாபிக், அந்த டாபிக்கே ரொம்ப இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கா இருக்குது இன்னைக்கு பார்க்க. ஸோ வித்வுட் டேக்கிங் மச் டைம், ஓவர் டு யூ ஷமீர். Shamir.
Am I audible?
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Shamir, yes, you are audible.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Mic testing.
Shall we go, Naveen, Padma?
Yes.
உங்க இசை வெள்ளத்துல வந்து நீந்தி தவிக்க தான் நாங்க ஆவலா வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். ப்ளீஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் மியூசிக்.
ஓகே. ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து படித்தால் மட்டும் போதுமா பொன்னொன்று கண்டேன் பாடினது 2 சிங்கர்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி. டிஎம் சவுண்ட் ஸ்ரீனிவாஸ் அண்ட் மியூசிக் எம்எஸ், த கிரேட் எம்எஸ்பி. ஸோ ஒரு சாங். பொன்னொன்று கண்டேன் பெண் அங்கு இல்லை, ஏனென்று நான் சொல்லலாகுமா, ஏனென்று நான் சொல்ல வேண்டுமா, பூ ஒன்று கண்டேன் முகம் காணவில்லை, ஏனென்று நான் சொல்லலாகுமா, ஏனென்று நான் சொல்ல வேண்டுமா. நடமாடும் மேகம் நவநாகரீகம், அலங்கார சின்னம் மலை போல மின்னும், நடமாடும் செல்வம் பணிவான தெய்வம், பழங்கால சின்னம் உயிராக மின்னும், துள்ளி வரும் வெள்ளி நிலா, துள்ளி வரும் வெள்ளி நிலா, துவண்டு விழும் கொடியா, துவண்டு விடும் கொடியிடையா, விண்ணோடு விளையாடும் பெண் அந்த பெண்ணல்லவோ, வென்றேன் கண்டேன் வந்தேன், பொன் ஒன்று கண்டேன் பெண் அங்கு இல்லை, ஏனென்று நான் சொல்லலாகுமா, ஏனென்று நான் சொல்ல வேண்டுமா. செகண்ட் சாங் வந்து இன்னொரு ரொம்ப ஒரு ஃபேமஸான சாங், அடுத்த வீட்டு பெண் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு பாட்டில் லெஜெண்டரி சிங்கர் பி.பி. ஸ்ரீனிவாஸ் பண்ணது. கண்ணாலே பேசி பேசி சொன்னாரு. Na 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 na. La 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 la. La 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 la. கண்ணாலே பேசி பேசி கொள்ளாதே, காதாலே கேட்டு கேட்டு சொல்லாதே. காதல் தெய்வீகராணி, போதை உண்டாகதே நீ, கண்ணே என் மனதை விட்டு துள்ளாதே. கண்ணாலே பேசி பேசி கொள்ளாதே, காதாலே கேட்டு கேட்டு சொல்லாதே. காதல் தெய்வீகராணி, போதை உண்டாகுதே நீ, கண்ணே என் மனதை விட்டு கொள்ளாதே. கண்ணாலே பேசி பேசி கொள்ளாதே. பாசம் மீறி சித்தம் தாளம் போடுதே, உன் பக்தனுள்ளம் நிந்தம் ஏங்கி வாடுதே. ஆசை வெட்கம் அறியாமல் ஓடுதே, என் அன்னமே உன் பின்னர் ஜடையாடுதே. காதல் தெய்வீகராணி, போதை உண்டாகுதே நீ, கண்ணே என் மனதை விட்டு துள்ளாதே. கண்ணாலே பேசி பேசி கொள்ளாதே, காதாலே கேட்டு கேட்டு சொல்லாதே. காதல் தெய்வீகராணி, போதை உண்டாகுதே நீ, கண்ணே என் மனதை விட்டு சொல்லாதே. கண்ணாலே பேசி பேசி கொள்ளாதே. தராரராரா, ராரராரராரராரா, தராரரா, தராரராரராரரா, தராரராரராரராரரா. கண்ணாலே பேசி பேசி கொள்ளாதே. தேங்க்யூ, தேங்க்யூ ஆல்.
That was wonderful. கொல்லாதே கொல்லாதேன்னு எங்க எல்லாரையும் நீங்க கொன்னுட்டீங்க உங்களோட அற்புதமான மெஸ்மரைசிங்கான
Thank you so
இந்த
much.
வாய்ஸ்ல. நீங்க இந்த
Thank
டைம்
you so
டிராவல்
much.
மெஷினை விட கூடு விட்டு கூடு பாரு விஷயமும் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் நினைக்கிறேன். போன வாரம் ஏசுதாஸ் அண்ணாவோட வாய்ஸ்ல பயங்கரமா மிரட்டினீங்க. இந்த வாட்டியும் வந்து பிச்சு உதறிட்டீங்க நம்ம டிவி ஸ்ரீனிவாசோட வாய்ஸ்ல. இட் வாஸ் a wonderful rocking performance. Thank you so much, Shamir. I hope
Thank
you
you
would
so much.
extend your support for all the upcoming webinar sessions. Thank you so
Sure,
much.
sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. All the best to all. Thank you. Thank you. Be safe. Bye.
ஓகே, எல்லாரும் நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்பெஷலை முடிச்சிட்டோம். இப்போ அடுத்த ஸ்பெஷல் ஈவெண்ட்டுக்கு போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஐம் ஹேண்டிங் இட் ஓவர் டு அவர் பிரசிடென்ட், மிஸ்டர் பிரசிடென்ட்.
Good evening. Hello. Good evening all. Thank you. Good evening all. Here's our 26th webinar talk. Free. Is free really free? We welcome our principal ma'am, our speaker of the day, Mr. Nandakumar, faculty members of our college, and all alumni friends. Mr. Nandakumar belongs to the 2005 batch mechanical branch. After his engineering, he has completed his MBA marketing in School of Business at Bharatiya University. He is an entrepreneur, speaker, online marketing consultant, and an author. He runs a digital marketing agency and offers marketing consultancy services to startups. His journey of what he is today is with lots of ups and downs. He started his career as a marketing manager at MetaXnet Private Limited, and he was there for 2 years. Then he started his own company for training courses and survived for 8 months. Again, he joined Rediff as a resident manager and worked for 2 years. His entrepreneur thoughts haunted his mind, and along with his friends, he started Sologic Solutions. It has a product for gold hallmarking ERP software and customized IT solutions for small and medium scale industries. It survived for a year and a half, though the company was dissolved, but the product still survives in the market and around 14 locations all over India. Later, he joined Ampere Electric Vehicles as a corporate marketing manager. There he has worked for a year and a half. Finally, he has started his company, Pixel Solution Media, in 2011. and it is concentrating on digital marketing and web designing. His recent ventures is in a badminton academy at Sarnambati, and it is for the past 2.5 years. After completing his 5th year of his company, he wrote his experience of starting a startup as a book titled Startup Fundamentals and is sold to Amazon. His second book is on the pipeline. There are a lot of books about that motivates to start a company, but this book is about the reality in starting a company, as he has shared his experience and steps involved in starting the same. It was really taken away by the topic. So I was really taken away by the topic. Free. Is free really free? That's it. Over to you, sir.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Hello, Vasant, am I audible? My voice is clear.
Loud and clear.
Okay. So, yeah, a beautiful presentation by Samir, as usual. Thanks. And nice intro by Mr. Vasant. Thank you. So, without much ado, we'll get into the presentation. So, the topic is free. Like, we all know what free can do to our minds, both psychologically and also for our purses. Anything that's free, it's enticing. There's no trust issues. We always try it. So I just want to talk about free in the recent years, like the recent 10 years to be specific. From the industry where we sell products online, we buy products online. I mean, thanks to after this corona, everything is online. The same lecture would have been happening, in a physical face-to-face interactive manner, but now we're doing it online. So yeah, when everything is free, let's see what is behind this free. So yeah, and I think I don't know why the screen froze. Okay. You seeing the second page?
Still on the first page.
Okay, I mean, I need annotation. Yeah, now it's working. So yeah, I mean, this intro, Mr. Vasant already gave a beautiful intro. Like, I started my journey as an MBA 2007 after completing my MBA. Worked for 2 years. Started my first business. It failed. Again, another job for 2 years. It failed again. Again, I went back to job. It survived for past 7 to 8 years. That's me in a quick way. Like, there are failures, there were successes. That's how it has been always. So right now, I focus on helping companies sell their products and services online, mostly in the social media sphere, and we also conduct events and competitions. And we were doing web designing as well. That's our origins. So that's the short intro about my company. So before we start, like, I would want to know what this DVD or CD is about. Can someone guess? I'll tell you the backstory of this. One of my friends, after completing his engineering, he got a job in Dubai, and he went there and he found the CD in a shop, and he took the photograph right away, and he asked them, like, "Sir, என்ன CD இது? எனக்கு இது தெரியல." The shop owner was asking, like, "Are you from India?" Without even thinking, he asked this question, and because only Indians don't know what CD this is. Can someone guess?
Windows.
Yeah, it is Windows original CD. So many of us wouldn't even have seen the CD. You know why? Because we are so so comfortable copy pasting, right? We love to use stuff for free, and his quote was very specific. Like, only Indians don't know this, because every other person who buys a computer always gets a Windows original CD and they uses it. So I'll come back to this particular phenomenon of why we Indians love to, not just Indians, everyone love to use something that is given completely free. So this is my sphere. This is the industry that I work on, like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. Like, all these services are free, right? They don't charge anything, completely anything. at least for the majority of users, like 99% of the users are completely enjoying the features for free. Like, can someone guess which company owns these two platforms, like WhatsApp and Instagram? It's an easy question, but I would want to. Which brand owns these two?
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook owns these two brands. Correct. So Facebook bought it for $19 billion. Now that's the money they paid. It's not that the users. I mean, for a user it's free, but a business is buying another business, which are both in the completely free segment for $9 billion. Yeah, the usual way we answer to this paradigm shift of business is like yeah, they are selling ads, correct? I'm sure nobody would have seen an advertisement in WhatsApp, right? If that is the case, there is an app that doesn't even show an advertisement, not a single advertisement. Why would Facebook pay $19 billion? This is one particular step that made me think in the MBA angle. How come? How come this is possible? There were situations where in the beginning, in the when Microsoft purchased Skype or when YouTube was being purchased by Google, they had a clear business case. But if you look at WhatsApp, there's no business case straightforwardly, right? Even the product is free, and the company that buys is also free. When the Facebook is free, there's no advertisements at all. So this is the a very important question everyone should be asking. We all believed it's advertisement. Let's say, is it really advertisements for $19 billion? So let's go back and take a small reroute to the traditional way of doing things. Like in the traditional sense, free meaning what? I mean, we get a free test ride of a car, or we get to use some products for free, some demo products. That's it, right? But in the modern sense, it's like the whole complete product is free. Like nothing is being stopped for you. I mean, when you use Gmail, like it's there, it's completely there. Nothing is missing. When a student uses, your Google products, when a student uses your Microsoft Teams product, it's exactly the same product that I'm using for my business. There's no difference. Completely no difference. And the beautiful part is like when the student graduates, he gets to use his same email ID for his personal use, and it carries on with him. So all the data is available with him. So how come it begins and it goes on and on? There's no way advertisement can feed it, right? So that's the another way to look at things. Like it's not that we get into it at the middle of the product cycle. It's like we get into it at the beginning, right from the beginning. Like it's like we go to take a demo of a car and we own it. That's how it is. That's how early it starts. So this is another picturization, like visual way of showing. In 10 years, this is the biggest change. Probably this one change that initiated everything. We became addicted to computers. Like I mean, we are facing a screen 24/7. Like I'm sure many of students, like they take their mobile phones to the restroom even. I know many of my friends take mobile phones to their restroom. Like we have the mobile phones everywhere. It's in your car, it's in your bed, and it's everywhere. Like yeah, it's even in your restroom. Back in my college days, like I know friends who take their newspapers to restroom, but now mobile phones go to that location as well. That's how connected we are. So no wonder businesses have to go online, right? So coming back, like again, the coronavirus, like how many of us track it in a print media? Think about it. 10 years before, it's only print media that is authoritative. Now nothing is authoritative. Like it's just data. Like it keeps on coming, right? I mean, do you believe a tweet from Donald Trump or a written article from New York Times? Of course, you would want to go read the tweet from Mr. Trump. Yes, there are people dying, but when someone says, I don't wear a mask, what do you think? Where is the trust? I want you to spend some time on it. Think about it. That is the power of social media. It's very polarizing, but it is having the reach, right? Think about it for a second. So that's how it has transformed. It's not like, a particular behavior is transformed. It's, instead of reading a newspaper, we are reading it from a mobile phone. No, what has happened is like the trust we gave to that particular piece of information has also changed. Today, Mr. Trump or somebody else can change our opinion or confuse our opinion, correct? And who's the person going to police us? Or the data that comes to us? Interesting, right? Okay. So let's go back to the basics again. I keep going back to the basics now, so that we get the idea of how everything comes into one piece. Like Google started as a search engine company, 10 blue links when we search for it. That's what it used to give. Now we search, this is what is giving it. I search for jewelry, and there are the 10 blue links. Like the first part is completely, advertisements, and that we know. There are also, different types of advertisements. There are even Google Map entries. The whole page is completely taken care of, right? That is the 10 blue links. So the next is, if anyone is interested, like they can go dig deeper into it. I'll only give a basic intro of, what these companies are capable of doing. And another different, type of data. This is like Facebook. So here is an interesting example. As an advertising agency, these are possible for an advertising agency, based in Coimbatore. Imagine what an advertising agency that is, big enough, to advertise for Cadbury or, or any bigger brands which has global reach. I can basically target a particular student, who fell in love or, who, who got lost. See, let's say if I'm a sweet company, I can target people who are happy. If I'm a company that sells, fitness and stuff, I can target the rest. It's like, during February, you get to see a happy advertisement. It means your relationship is going well. That is the, amount of data that is being fed to the, companies. True or not? And we are giving it. And I know many of my clients who would want to, target what do you say, like maybe people who are getting married, for example. Yes, I can catch them. How? Any clues? How to catch people who are getting married? Let's say a jewelry company wants to advertise to people who are getting married. Can we do that?
Relationship status.
Yeah, beautiful. So we take a selfie and we tell Facebook, even before we tell the government. Even government has to wait. I mean, till we get married only, the government gets to know. But Facebook knows even before the spouse knows, for example. No, there were even instances. Where Facebook found out a particular user is pregnant. This is a very unfortunate very negative way of looking at marketing. But sadly, the software has found out, and the user is getting advertisements related to that. I don't know if you think in the very personal angle, like these are data that we would never give, correct? These are data that we would never be comfortable giving away. But yes, the algorithms are powerful now, and we are giving it away. So please think before offering such data. And again, is it good? Is it bad? It depends to the individual. Like some are comfortable, some are very comfortable telling others that I'm getting married, for example. But the context of sharing the data and the context that the data has been used varies. That's exactly the crux of my presentation. It's not that we think that we are sharing this data to tell the friends that I'm getting married, but honestly, how this data is being used is like 2 years down the line, the same data can predict that there is a chance that you might be pregnant, and 4 years down the line, there is also a chance that you have a 2-year-old kid in your home. So it's just data. Data emotions, right? Data can only talk like so. Anyone with marriage of 5 years, I'm sure, like with 90% accuracy, we can predict there is a baby in the house. I mean, when we uploaded it in Facebook, like we never would have thought about it, right? But that's how it works. So another question, like, I mean, which is the second biggest search engine? Can someone guess? I mean, when Google started, there were like 45 different search engines, and now everything is gone. Nobody is surviving. Google is the 46th search engine company. Can you believe that? And the search engine company that was leading that time, they gave Google 15 days time. 15 days they'll die. That's what the CEO said. So okay. So what is the second biggest search engine?
Facebook.
No, but it's very close. It's getting closer. Sorry, your voice is not audible.
Thomas sir says it's Yahoo.
Yahoo is done. Like they sold it for $35. Yahoo is sadly Yahoo has been done with sadly. So the second biggest search engine is actually YouTube. So this is where the largest amount of search is happening, and it's going to become number one. Yes, Amazon, Baidu, and Facebook, they're all competing very close. But as of now, YouTube is to take the number one lead. Why? Because Corona. We have a lot of free time, and we have so much data to see. We want to see everything now. We want to read about it 10 years before, but now we want to see and experience it. We want to feel it. That's the next paradigm shift that's going to happen. So coming back, the promise here is like as a short film maker, you get to make money. So please upload more data, correct? That was the promise given to everyone, and yes, we upload our data, and yes, this is another business model that has been possible or promoted really well thanks to this COVID and recent happenings. Okay. So another very professional company, again, superbly purchased by Microsoft recently. Same concept. Like I'm giving an example. Like when we were, applying for jobs during MBA times, we used to have 3-4 different resumes. Naukri was the Naukri time jobs, and there are many other job portals. Like we have a resume for everything. Like for marketing, we'll have a resume. Finance, we'll have a resume. For HR, we'll have a resume. The idea here is like when someone searches for HR, my HR resume will be hit. It's like creating an email ID is free, right? Who's stopping us from creating 4-5 different email IDs and have 4-5 different completely different profiles with the same photograph? It's possible, and we have done that. And many of my friends have gotten jobs also. So that's how it was in 2005, 2007 times. But today it's like LinkedIn. What LinkedIn does is like it creates a social proof. Let's say I'm a HR in any big IT company. I can find someone who's actually a mutual friend or a friend of my existing employee, thanks to their social graph. It's like hiring someone for a job in Chennai, but the employee is coming from Coimbatore. It's like வணக்கங்க நானும் கோயம்புத்தூர் தாங்க. That's a relation when they go and join. There is a team spirit, right? They're all connected. And if you bring in such type of connection, like let's say I'm calling Naveen to a project, I'm sure there is a connection. Forget about the qualities or the technical skills we have. Of course, these technical skills can be trained, correct? But the relationship that me and Naveen has cannot be trained or cannot be copy pasted, right? It has come over years of bonding. Likewise, LinkedIn can do that. It is not just a very straightforward data that we are comparing like apples to orange. No, there is also an emotional quotient which can be brought into it. And no wonder LinkedIn is very successful because you cannot replicate your social fiber. Is it possible? No, you can delete a resume and upload a new resume, which is basically impossible in LinkedIn. You have to update it. It's always live, right? So that's another way of companies using our data for different purposes. Okay, here is a curious question. Let's say you are talking about product in a restaurant. You're talking to a friend, and you happen to see an advertisement in your mobile. Has this happened to any of you guys? You are casually talking. Let's say you are at a movie theater or anywhere, like completely unrelated. You're talking about Mercedes Benz.
Usually happens in Ola.
Okay, yeah, usually happens in Ola. So this is a new new trend, new way of tracking that is happening. So these are the culprits basically. what they do is, like, your mobile phones. Anyone who has the smartest of the smartest mobile phone, they are the saddest victims actually. If you have a bigger battery, if you have a 50,000, 1 lakh rupees worth of mobile phones, trust me, your phone is recording everything. That's it. Because you know uh, the capabilities of the chip that is sitting inside these smartest of the smartest phones, they can record for years ahead. They can keep on recording what you're doing. So again, recording, I don't mean that all the recordings are used in a better way. Let's say let's say I'm a big company, I'm advertising. Let's say I'm advertising for the IPL. Is there a way to track advertisements in IPL? It's very difficult. Let's say I'm a water filter company, I advertise in IPL, in TV advertisements. There's no way I can track how many people saw my ads, right? So when this, recording devices are sitting in your living room, and when you watch the ad in TV, these devices can decipher and understand, okay, this particular user has watched this particular ad because the ad is played and I recorded it. I mean, that's how the data is connected. So likewise, there are multiple devices, even your security cameras that are free. Every particular device is tracking. But let's stop here and let's come back and think in a different angle. There is audio recordings, right? There is your search history. There is your LinkedIn data, correct? There is your Amazon data. Like, there's so much of different types of data that's been recorded and kept, right? Can we understand? Okay. So the next that natural step is to make money out of it, right? So if you think how OLX are quicker makes their money, you will be really amazed by the skill that happens, the technology that happens in the background. Uh, can someone suggest how OLX makes money? It's completely free platform. Like, there is no ads being kept, right? And OLX and Quicker, they are pretty much everywhere in the globe, right? All these yellow pages company, I mean white pages companies. Can someone guess how do they make money? Okay, I'll explain it in a a different way. We saw that there are different types of data that's been recorded in different websites, correct? Your Amazon has a set of data, YouTube has a set of data, and different types of data recorded in different places. So let's say you have a used car that you're selling, okay, and you sell it via OLX. You put an advertisement, you sell it via OLX, okay. The moment you sell it, I mean, after you sell it, you obviously delete the advertisement, or you would say, like, I've got enough number of quotes, the ad is done, and without uh, without any doubt, there is a guarantee that the product being sold and you have money. Now, take that particular data and give it to Amazon, and Amazon will compare it with your, old browsing habits and say, okay, this gentleman has searched for a particular mobile phone in the past 1 month, and now this guy has money. OLX can only tell that this guy has money. Amazon can only tell this is your search history, right? And different other company might, YouTube might say, hey, look, this guy has watched a preview video of a particular laptop that he is interested to buy. So and then next day you get an email from Amazon saying, hey, look, we have a product on offer and it's 20% off, 50% off, and it's only for 24 hours. I'm sure many of you would have gotten the mail, only 24 hours. The reason for 24 hours is, like, they know within 24 hours you're going to burn the money. Correct? So before you spend the money, they want it. No, I mean, the data that is completely insignificant. You gave it as a I mean, it's like passing by. Like, you go to Star Xerox to take a printout, and the Xerox company asks you mobile number, you gave it. But you know what? You went there to print your visiting card, and they know you're a businessman. One and one, and it goes on. Okay, that's how the data connection happens. So what I would say is, like, whenever you give your data, think in this angle, how the data can be used, not just for money, but is there anything else that I'm providing? Now look in a different context. Here are some examples. Like I'm sure you know WhatsApp and Instagram. I mean, there's a website called IMDb. I'm sure many of you will be, visiting frequently. This website is owned by Amazon. There are times, like I found amazing movies rated very badly in the website. And guess what? I mean, Amazon might not be streaming it in Prime. It's not that I'm trying to connect the data, but you give me the benefit of doubt, right? You understand? There are beautiful movies, amazing movies, but they were beaten up for the reviews. It has happened several times to me, but I'm still inconclusive. But you get the idea. Coming back, like there is Goodreads. Goodreads is a book review website. Similar story. There's India Property, Magic Bricks. Like every other real estate company, the Magic Bricks. Can someone guess who runs Magic Bricks or 99 Acres? If you search in online. I'll tell you the India Property, I think it's owned by Bharat Matrimony. The idea here is like when you are married, you would look for places to live. Of course, you would, it's the data. Like the moment you're married, you have money with you. You either buy jewelry or you buy an apartment. And India Property comes right in. But they don't want you to leave, their platform. 99 Acres, same story. Coimbatore growing, Delhi growing, everybody growing because it's like Times of India wants everybody to grow. Likewise, think in that angle. There is a huge data connection with all these businesses. So this is what honestly we are giving away, and this is how the business model of your data works. They're all data sellers, and they all work between themselves. Okay, everything is connected. Okay, so now the connection has gone too much, and it has become its own industry. Like we have big data, so there's too much data. Who is going to decipher from the sea of data and by our opinions. Let's say I want to target a particular audience. Let's say I want to sell to a very niche target segment. And this has become an industry, and I'm seeing data analysts and many youngsters joining this field. And it's highly challenging and very enterprising business actually. Superb job openings are coming up. So this is where it is leading. This is the future of it. So coming back, like traditionally, we don't know these data, but now it's like it's our money in their purse. Like we know there is a purse and we know there is money in it. It's not an empty purse. Like that's how bad the data is available for a current day marketer, and they just have to understand and decipher. That's the crux of this presentation. And as one last thing, this is my one last thing for you guys before we go to the question hour. So this is the photograph of Zuckerberg. He posted the moment after purchasing Instagram. So if you look at it, his camera has been blocked, and his mic is also been completely blocked. So this gentleman runs the world's largest social media company, and guess what? This is what is the state of his own personal laptop. So hope you get the idea of the business behind. We can have some questions.
Great presentation, Nanda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent one.
Just an observation, like I don't see it as a presentation, it's just an observation that's happening in my industry. I'm saying. Any questions? Like, does it create any light bulb moments? I'm just curious.
இப்போ எதை யூஸ் பண்ணது எதை யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு தெரியும்.
நீங்க எதை வேணா யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். And I'll add on to what Nanda says na. So your data is not being actually sold, but your data's kind of being given access to different companies which co-work with one another. And this new age trend is called partnership. And how that happens is through APIs.
Yes, we call this automated, ad targeting. Like programmatic ads, we call it. Algorithms do the job. Like everything happens in a split second. Like you talk about Mercedes-Benz and bing. Like so many places the bulb glows, and then your phone is ready to give you the advertisement. That's how fast it is. Any questions?
Hello.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So is there a way that we could avoid it? Probably like WhatsApp எடுத்தீங்கன்னா there's a business account. So அந்த
Okay.
மாதிரி ஏதாவது நீங்க மாத்தினா, are you going to come out of these problems?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. Exactly what I would want someone to ask. So again, this is my personal opinion. Can we delete LinkedIn? Let's say I'm a student. Okay, I want to get a job. If I delete LinkedIn, I can't get a job. Forget it. It's done. I don't have a LinkedIn. I'm done. So we cannot run back. We cannot hide that, right? So the only choice we have is to manipulate the system. Manipulate is a little informal way of saying it, but that's all we have. We have to understand how the platform works, and we have to feed it the way we want. I know many MBA students. I'll tell you how they operate. They manipulate their social stream. They share the type of data that they would want their recruiters to see. They don't go and say negative stuff in their social stream. Like they don't say there's no water, there's no electricity, the roads are bad. They never do that. They share articles from Harvard Business Review. They share articles from New York Times. You get it. When the HR manager comes to search it, that's how it's going on right now. Like we give we manipulate or we manage, we mitigate. The risk-taking appetite varies with age. If you are young, you're okay with selfies. If you are old, maybe you're okay with some data that goes out, for example. It also varies, and we marketers also understand it. It's not that the platforms are not aware of it. Yes, they are aware. Everyone is aware. But the trick is to play it like how we play it in a social, physical, offline environment. It's replicable, and we need to understand and do it. That's it. And one extension of this question is like, what if my data, I mean, all these data is used to, hack my account, steal my money? Don't worry, it won't happen to common men. Because let's say I'm a hacker, and I get to hack your Facebook, and I would only focus on hacking Amitabh Bachchan or Sachin Tendulkar. I won't be focusing on we common people. So don't worry about it. Our accounts will never be hacked. Because we got nothing to offer. If you have so much to offer, and please be aware. That's all I can say.
Great, great.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, Nandakumar. See, whenever we download and try an app to be installed, it requires so many like yes. So we unknowingly we give yes to everything, because our interest is to download the app and install it. So we ignore what it is actually asking us. It asks access to so many things. So that's the reason for these type of big data robbery, in other words. But we can't avoid those things, isn't it? Is there any methodology to avoid that access and still install all those social apps?
Honestly, you can't. The logical answer is you can't. But one example, like let's say you want to upload a photo in Instagram. You download the Instagram app, upload a photograph, you delete the app after uploading. I know it looks very weird, but works. See, the permissions that you give works as long as the app is sitting in your mobile. Correct? Now that we have unlimited internet, what if we download the app once again whenever we want to upload? I'm sure this is a workable solution for seniors, but the younger ones who would want to upload 25 selfies in one go, they would want the app always. And their risk appetite is different to the risk appetite of the bigger adults. That's one way to look at it. But we can't honestly hide from it. We can only manipulate. Think of it like a game, and certain data should never go. Let's say the photograph of your children should never go online. Like we have to decide like what we go. Like I'm seeing many people, they use their kids' photograph as their profile picture. I mean, any profile picture is public data. Like, anybody can use it for any purpose. And it's sad that they throw away their kids' picture. But for some it's okay. Like, what is wrong in my kid's face going out? For some it's perfectly okay. But for some it's like Oh, it's very private. What if the kid comes back and sues you? It can happen in the near future. Like my dad posted all my photographs in social media. Like it's very bad. I want to sue him. Example. It can happen. I'm just giving a funny tangent, but think about it. You can't hide, sadly.
Okay, thank you. So the best thing is that because we nowadays do online banking, so all the passwords and stuffs are all connected through mails, and the way you are given the insight is that nothing is a secret in case of an Android application. So is it better to have some Java-based application like like one we had earlier when before Android market?
No, okay. Again, I would say there are certain areas which are very very strong. Especially for India. We still have two-factor authentication in many of the bank transactions. Let's say if I want to send money in USA between two individuals, all I need is their email address. I can send money to anyone I want, right? But in India, you need the bank account, you need OTP, you need mobile phone verification. It's one of the most secure countries in the world. It's very, very difficult, to lose money with Indian transactions, especially after the UPA. It's getting super duper strong. So we shouldn't, we need not worry about those type of monetary things being stolen. Even if it is stolen, it's easy to catch back unless there is Bitcoin types of investments where it's difficult, it's impossible to track back. But most of our financial transactions are secure, and India is doing a wonderful job in terms of security. We don't have to worry about it. It's very amazing. But again, it's catchable. Even if we lose it, we can catch it back. Yes, and restricting the technology is not the direction we should be traveling. We should not think that, shall we hide it or shall we run back or shall we go back? No, we can't go offline, or we should not go offline. We have to understand the difficulties of it. We have to mitigate. We should be a little more courageous. I mean, courage is the only option we have, sadly, but it's possible. It's developing really well. The platforms that handle money or the platforms that handle data are really, really developing well. For example, the data that Facebook has, nobody can access. Even Google cannot access the data Facebook has. What Google and Facebook can access is, through an algorithm, and for that particular moment, for that particular transaction. It's very hard to, go deeper. Nobody can go deeper inside Facebook and get more profile data. That's how it is connected. It is secure, correct? I mean, Facebook is not okay sharing too much of its data to Google. As long as they keep fighting, as long as there is competition, as long as there is free market, everybody wins. When it becomes monopoly, I don't want to name the company, but when it becomes a monopoly, you know what will happen. As long as nothing becomes a monopoly, we customers, we commoners can enjoy. Forget about the really rich. No guarantees for them.
Thank you, Anandakumar. Thank you. Wonderful insights. Thank you.
Nandakumar,
Yeah.
I would like to have a question.
Okay.
I had an Amazon account, right? Prime account.
Okay.
Like what happened was after in January 2020, I got a message that my account has been debited with the Prime membership, but I haven't
Okay.
subscribed for. Maybe going through some Amazon shopping, I thought I might have given some details. But how could
Okay.
it be possible that they have taken money from my account without my knowledge? Because after I know that every transaction has got an OTP, has got
Yeah.
at least twice or thrice, 2 or 3 times of levels of
Correct.
authentication.
Security is there. True.
Yeah, but then how is it possible? I was wondering what is it I haven't subscribed for, then how is it possible? And I really wondered. But then
Okay.
I actually I blocked my account and I asked the member, I asked the bank, and he told no, it has taken Amazon Prime has been deducting your amount. I don't know how is it possible. Where did I give that is
Okay.
we unknowingly give some data. I don't know where it is being put. It is from my
Okay.
debit account also. Not credit card actually. It's my debit account number. But debit card.
Okay. I can give you one quick, feeling is like off late Apple or Jio or whenever whenever you renew your recharge your account, right? They used to give 30 days free Prime or 100 days free. Likewise, when you would have purchased something, okay, and this Amazon Prime would have come as a packaged deal, okay, without your knowledge, but you would have used the same mobile number that you used with Amazon, or same email address that you used with Amazon. Okay, and Amazon would have found out that this particular customer has already purchased it somewhere else and updated it in their systems. This could be very straightforwardly possible without your knowledge.
Yeah,
For example, like,
tell me.
can happen, and I'll tell you how to look at it. Go chat with Amazon help and ask them straightforwardly. Where did I pay you? How did you get my money? Of course, they have the data. Okay, what are they saying?
I tried actually, but then
Okay.
the same thing what you have told, that you have used a trial package and
Okay.
account number which you have submitted for the one which I purchased has been used. And I
Okay.
told, without my authentication, how is it possible to debit my amount from my account? I asked. It told,
Okay.
no, you have given one authentication. I do not know really when I got
Mm-hmm.
like, I think we should be really very careful when we
Yeah, yeah.
purchase some sort of online shopping, and we should be really, really very careful. Like such things happen. At least for the sake of Prime is okay, better, no problem. But then for
Yeah.
other sake, whatever it may be, if it is for the wrong thing, I don't know what will happen, because kids used to nowadays go online
Yeah.
for a long time, and we are really worried about what's going on, right? Because a lot of pop-ups coming up, and they try
Yeah.
to browse. I don't know what it is. So actually, you have to be really careful when you're going to do something, because every time it asks you have to allow or block. But
Yeah.
kids, what they do for the time constraint, they simply allow, simply without reading. They just
Yeah.
skip this.
They only look the color, they use green color. I mean, most of the kids, they don't even read. They are more receptive to colors. So they use the buttons in a very pleasing colors and they click it.
That's what is the real worry right now. Nowadays, we are all having right now. Because
It
if the others go wrong in such a way,
can
it will be.
happen.
So, is there anything that we have thing to stop all those things, and kids are accessing the systems online?
We can't, we can't, but we have to teach them, we have to teach them, to get permission or at least to understand, how it works, to think before they click. So that's all we can, we have to educate. It's like training to, draw a painting. The more training they give, they'll be aware. We can't threaten them or, we can't punish them, because if we punish them, and you know how they're going to behave.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's a game. It's a game that has to be taught, and there are difficulties while learning. But once they learn, yes, they'll remember.
Yes, I do agree. But once they get into some problems or something else, they sit back and look what it is actually.
Uh,
But
th-
smaller ones, they're more interested, excited to know what is next.
yeah, yeah.
Elder
There is a book named Hooked. I would suggest, if you're interested, by someone named, by an author named N.I.R. Nir Eyal. Okay, the book named Hooked, H-O-O-K-E-D, Hooked. Okay, this gentleman researches about the particular behavior, how these platforms uses our subconscious behavioral traits to give data, like amazing direction. I mean, that's all I can tell you. Like,
Okay, thank you
that's a
so
nice
much.
book. The book name is H-O-O-K-E-D, Hooked.
Noted it down. Thank you so much for the nice talk. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
Hey, Nandakumar. Good
Hello.
evening. Yeah, just I wanted to know that email unsubscription is much
Okay.
effective. Example is I used an account only for my email and also for my AWS certification.
Okay. Okay.
Wherein no personal data I have given out. Now, I don't know, is it Amazon or my banking who gives me salary has given out the information. There is one particular marketing advertisement who keeps on advertising me from Bajaj FinService or Amax based on the Financial Express brands. So manipulating me the jackpots or you can buy it. Kind of jackpot advertisement. Yeah. Now, my only question is, I have unsubscribed, even though that I think info@hotmailers is the mail ID I'm getting.
Okay.
So this guy company keeps on sending me an emails even though an unsubscription happens. Is that effective?
Okay.
And how we can avoid from these hooks? But just for information, I used only for AWS certification and also for my banking purpose. No other personal thing I have used that mail ID. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Nice question. Nowadays, no, even the banks are culprit. Even banks give away your personal data. It's very illicit, but it's happening. And it's like going in the public and saying, "Hey, look, this guy has more money. Send an advertisements to him." It's happening. I'm telling you in a very crude manner, but you get the idea. So coming back, like we can't hide it. We can block it. No, we can teach Gmail to keep blocking such advertisements. That's all we can do. And be happy that they can't do anything else. I mean, whoever is sending this mass mailers, they'll try for multiple times and they'll stop, because nowadays sending mass mailers is getting so costly. So I mean, every email is like 25 paise, 50 paise. It goes up to 1 rupee, 2 rupee. If you have more money in your bank, every mass mail that I send to you is like 10 rupees, 20 rupees. That's how competitive the industry is becoming. So it'll go away. That's it. Just keep ignoring. There's no way they can take your personal data or whatever. And that I can guarantee. But these things happen. Spam. It goes away. Just ignore. But certain things can't. Like I couldn't delete my Naukri address. After 3 attempts, after my business survived, I tried to delete my Naukri account. Funny story. There's no way to delete your Naukri account. So as usual, I called them, fought with their call center, and the person in the call center was like, "How can you delete your Naukri address? Like, what are you going to do without job?" I'm like, "What? I've started a business. I'm trying to survive with entrepreneurship. Like, so there's no option to delete. You can't." That's how funny it was. So I waited 2-3 years and then put Naukri in spam, for example. No other option. It's still in spam. Anyways.
நந்தா, நான் வந்து 1994-98 பேட்ச். என்னோட பேர் வசந்த்.
வணக்கம். சொல்லுங்க.
அதான் இப்பதான் பார்த்தேன், இந்த பிக்சல் சோஷியல் மீடியா நீங்க தான் ஓன் பண்றீங்களா இது?
ஆமா.
ஓகே. அண்ட் நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி இந்த ஹார்ட் பவுன்ஸ், சாஃப்ட் பவுன்ஸ்லாம் இருக்குது இமெயில்ல. ஓகே. அண்ட் இப்போ இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வந்து இப்படிதான் எடுக்கணும் இல்லையா? நம்மளே எல்லா இடத்துலயும் கொடுக்கதான் செய்யறோம். நம்மளோட டேட்டாவை நம்ம கஷ்டப்பட்டுலாம் எடுக்க வேண்டாம். சர்வசாதாரணமா எல்லா இடத்துலயும் தான் அவைலபிளா தான் இருக்குது. லிங்க்டின்ல இருக்குது, ஃபேஸ்புக்ல இருக்குது, வேற எல்லா இடத்துலயும் இருக்குது.
ரஜினிகாந்த் போட்டோ ப்ரொஃபைல் பிக்சரா வச்சிருப்பாங்க. I know who is your childhood hero ன்னு பாஸ்வேர்ட், ஃபர்கட் பாஸ்வேர்ட் ஆன்சர் இருக்கும். ப்ரொஃபைல் பிக்சரை பார்த்து ரஜினிகாந்த் நடிச்சு ஹேக் பண்ணலாம். அப்படிதான் இருந்துச்சு 15 வருஷத்துக்கு 10 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி எல்லாம். இப்போ இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் அவேர்னஸ் வந்திருக்கு, அவ்வளவுதான். பட் இட்ஸ் ஸ்டில் தேர். ஆமா. இப்பெல்லாம் வந்து ரெஸ்ட் ரூம் போனோம்னா நம்ம மொபைல்ல இருந்ததுன்னா ஒரு ஓடிபி வச்சு ஹேக் பண்ணலாம். சொல்றேன். எனிவேஸ்.
ஓகே. பட் ஓகே, நான் இப்பதான் ஜாயின் பண்ணேன். ஸோ நான் கவனிக்கிறேன். ஸோ பிக்சல் சோஷியல் மீடியா, ஏன்னா நான் வந்து இப்போ நான் அனலைஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறேன் எப்படிலாம் இது பண்றாங்கன்ட்டு மார்க்கெட்டிங். அண்ட் நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி எவ்ரி இன்ட்ராக்ஷன் இட் இஸ் பிகமிங் காஸ்ட்லி. ஓகே. நல்ல கம்பெனிஸும் வந்து நீங்க என்கேஜா இல்லைன்னா, அந்த கன்சியூமர் என்கேஜா இல்லைன்னா அவங்க திருப்பி வச்சுட்டு இருக்க போறது இல்லை.
ஆமாங்க, உண்மை.
கூல்.
அது கண்டிப்பா அது ஒரு முக்கியமான மார்க்கெட்டிங் எக்ஸ்பென்ஸுங்க எங்களுக்கு. ஏன்னா ஒரு 4 டைம் பிசிக்கலா பாருங்களேன், ஒரு கஸ்டமர் கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணணும்னா நான் ஒரு 4 ஃபோன் கால் பண்ணுவேன், 5 ஃபோன் கால் பண்ணுவேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் ஐ ட்ராப் தம். தே நாட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டட். வாட் இஸ் த பாயிண்ட்? தி சேம் திங் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் ஆன்லைன் அஸ் வெல். there's so much data now. எவ்வளவுதான் ஒரு கஸ்டமரை புஷ் பண்றது? இட்ஸ் ஆல் ஆட்டோமேட்டட் ஆல்சோ, ரைட்? It's not like someone is manually sending an email. A software is sending. After that limit, software will stop sending. That's it. So we can be, அது பாட்டுக்கு சும்மா ஸ்பாம் போட்டோல தள்ளி விட்டு நீங்க பாட்டுக்கு உங்க வேலையை பார்க்க ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். I would say the software is more powerful. I mean, நீங்க வேண்டான்னு முடிவு பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி சாஃப்ட்வேருக்கு தெரியும் இவர் வாங்க மாட்டாரு அப்படி. That's a better approach.
ஆமா. அந்த மாதிரி நோக்கரி சொன்னீங்கல்ல, நோக்கரி மாதிரி ஆக்சுவலா என்னோட ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி அப்படின்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். நான் வந்து கஸ்டமர் கேர் டீம்லாம் இருக்காங்கல்ல, அவங்க ஜஸ்ட் அன் எம்ப்ளாயி, ரைட்? அவங்கள போட்டு நம்ம கஷ்டப்படுத்தாம ஸ்ட்ரெயிட்டா நான் என்ன பண்ணிடுவேன்னா, ஒரு 2 தடவை அவங்க கேட்பேன். ஸ்ட்ரெயிட்டா வந்து மெசேஜ் சிஇஓக்கு அனுப்பிச்சிடுவேன். ஓகே, இது உங்க ப்ராசஸ் எப்படி இருக்குது, இதை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணுங்க. இல்லாட்டி இப்போ நான் ஏன்னா பாவம் இந்த ஆளுங்களை போட்டு நம்ம கஷ்டப்படுத்த கூடாதுன்னு அப்படி பிளான் பண்ணிடுறது. அது மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த டைம் கிளியரா ஒர்க்கும் ஆயிருக்குது.
என்ன சொல்ல, ஒன் ஆஃப் மை ப்ரீவியஸ் ஜாப்ஸ் லைக் நான் ப்ராடக்ட் மார்க்கெட் பண்றதுக்காக we wrote letters to the CEOs, top 500 CEOs of India. You won't believe, a reply came from Rahul Bajaj. It is a very humble printed out letter. Instead of online marketing, நம்ம இது ட்ரை பண்ணக்கூடாது, இட் ஒர்க் அண்ட் வி சால்வ் த ப்ராடக்ட். சொல்றேன், சில நேரங்கள் அப்படிதான், லைக் வெரி ஹானஸ்ட் ஸ்ட்ரைட் ஃபார்வர்ட் அப்ரோச் ஒர்க்ஸ். We have to throw stones here, no other option, but it works. If time's up, like என்னோட ஃபோன் நீங்க கூப்பிட்டு கூட கேட்கலாம். If you have any doubts and stuff, anything but money, or if you can have more questions depending on the host's decision, we can continue.
மணி கேட்க மாட்டாங்க, பிட்காயின் கேட்பாங்க.
பிட்காயின் இல்லைங்க, பட் ஐ நோ மைனஸ் இன் கோயம்புத்தூர், பட் நான் கேட்டில்ல. ஒரு ட்வீட்டுக்கெல்லாம் பிட்காயின் கொடுத்தாங்க 2005. அப்பெல்லாம் தெரியாம போச்சு, எவ்வளவு ட்வீட் வேணா பண்ணிருப்போம். இப்போ ஹானஸ்டாங்க, என் ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஒருத்தர் இன்னும் வச்சிருக்காரு, ட்வீட்டுக்கு வாங்கின பிட்காயின் அது இன்னும் இருக்கு. 15 வருஷமா அப்படியே வச்சிருக்காரு. சொல்றேன்.
A wonderful message, Nandakumar. Audience, if you have any other questions, we'll go with the question session. Otherwise, Vasant, shall we go for the closing remarks and then the kids game by Padma Shri?
Yes, Thomas, you can proceed. Yes, our meeting போணும்னா Nandakumar sir meeting போணும்னா.
Okay,
7:30 க்கு கிளம்பணும்.
Okay, great.
Please excuse me.
Yeah. SREC Alumni Association is very happy to host you, Nandakumar. Thank you for joining us in the midst of your busy schedules. Thank you so much. It was very short notice to you. Still, you made it the webinar number 26. Definitely, your presentations were mesmerizing, because when we see something free, definitely we all jump into that without knowing what is going to happen in the future. Thank you so much for the insights what you have brought in. Thank you, audience, for joining us. Our patron ma'am was available in the start of the event and also in between. Thank you, Vice Principal Dr. P. Karpusamy sir, who was available with us, and thank you all other faculty members for joining. Next week, same time, we have the webinar talk series by Sham Jod. Third eye surveillance is the topic from him. Thank you, audience, for joining us, and over to